Hello everybody, here we are today talking about a variety of things, including Jack Eichel doing something special, the New Jersey Devils and why I might give them a pass by the end of the season, and then a team that's been stuck in the mud for a little bit now, the Edmonton Oilers. But before we get started with it, please make sure to subscribe if you're new to me or hockey, whatever the case may be. Being said, let's get on into it. So kicking it off, we'll be talking about Jack Eichel, who had an assist in a 4-0 win over the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight, and that is, of course, a good win for Vegas as they are possibly cruising towards another division title. And this was big because this puts him at 79 points on the season, that being Eichel, and that ends up being a big number. A lot of people might say, well, that doesn't seem like a big number, but it now gives him the all-time position of the most points in a season by a Vegas Golden Knights player, which I think, again, is kind of a testament to the team and how they've been able to have so much success without seeing, a guy reliably go off for 100 points or more. Some teams can expect their guys to have 120, 130 points, maybe even 160 points practically in a given season. So for Vegas, this is impressive, as William Karlsson was kind of in a tie with Eichel, and with point number 79, Eichel is in his own category here. But it did kind of make me wonder a little bit, where is Mark Stone in all of this? Stone has been a guy that has been pretty good since arriving over in Vegas, as he's averaged about a point per game in his time in the Sin City. And I thought, surely he's got to be close to the top 10, but maybe not top 5. But he's actually 12th in this, and you realize, again, it comes down to durability or just being able to stay in the lineup, as the most games that we've seen for Stone in a season with Vegas during the regular season is 65 games. So again, it kind of explains why he is not in the top 10 there. But for Eichel, this is a massive deal. This would be just the second time in his career that he could possibly hit 80 points in a season. And of course, the last time that he did that was a 2018-19 season. So it's been a little bit of time since we saw him crack the 80-point mark. And he has already been able to pass his career high for assists previously. And so this is a nice thing, as he could actually possibly finish top 5 in the league in this category for helpers. And could be, again, just a career year for him in a lot of ways. And this has been such a good run for him in his time with Vegas, as he's averaged over a point per game since his arrival there, and has been able to win a championship and get stuck out of the Buffalo, or get out of the situation that he was stuck in Buffalo. Thinking again, Ryan O'Reilly, Jack Eichel, Sam Reinhart are just 3 players that come to mind of guys that played an impact for new teams and won the championship. Meanwhile, Buffalo, again, unfortunately looking like they'll miss the playoffs yet again. But yes, Eichel won a cup and is setting franchise records, as he is with the Golden Knights for a little bit longer, of course. And I'm curious to see how things go, continuing his legacy there in the state of Nevada. Almost said the state of Vegas. And I guess for some people, it's kind of the state of Vegas in terms of mind, because people constantly harping on this team that they don't seem to like a whole lot. But I got to say congratulations to him. And this is something where I hope maybe he does go out there and try to build off this, where next year maybe hits 100 points. I don't know. Now, kind of pivoting over to the New Jersey Devils. This is a team that is sitting 3rd in the Metro. This is a team that has won 3 in a row, and this is a team that has nearly 93% chance of making the playoffs, according to MoneyPuck.com. But just recently, I put out a video talking about how if they miss the playoffs, this would be a team that I would freak out about. But I'm going to be honest, I'm going to kind of flip the script here and say that if they end up making the playoffs, it would actually be kind of a surprise. And this has been in part due to a lot of news about the injuries. Jack Hughes obviously is out until the start of next season. Jonas Siegenthaler is also another name that comes to mind here. He's out, I believe, until the start of next season. And then you have the news of Dougie Hamilton, who is likely going to miss the rest of the regular season. Not even likely, it seems like he's just going to miss the rest of the regular season. And what do you have kind of going on here? Well, you have your star player that is out for the year. You have a defenseman that was giving you good results defensively, and he is again out for the year. And then you have your leading scorer from the blue line being out for the rest of the regular season. You could understand why things could possibly go out there and fall apart for this team, but they're holding strong. And this is where it kind of gets interesting, because I think that had they missed with just Eichel being out, I said it would have been a big deal, a big blow to this team, about their character, about their ability to battle through and be resilient. But in this case, I just think that there are so many things going against them. It would be absolutely understandable if they did miss the postseason. Here they are now, looking like they could go out there and make it, and I think that it would be a win regardless of whether or not they got knocked out early or not, just to see that they made the playoffs for the second time in 3 years. And I know, again, if they are in a first-round matchup against a team like the Carolina Hurricanes, they could get beaten pretty handedly, because, again, the Hurricanes probably feeling very motivated after the whole Mikko Rantanen situation, talking about are their best days, behind them. And even if it wasn't the Hurricanes, it could be another team that could go out there and again just kind of throttle them. I don't exactly know how things will play out for this team. I will say though, for Sheldon Keefe and the guys, keep it up, but at the end of the season, I'm not going to be too harsh on them and maybe hopeful for next year, even though I think I'm going to try my best to go out there and dampen the expectations a little bit, because I have been one of New Jersey's biggest hype men over the past couple of seasons, and they haven't been able to produce like what we saw in 2023. But still, kind of promising to see them go out there and pick up, what was it, a 5-3 win tonight, which I believe came against the Edmonton Oilers, which will be the next team we talk about. Hey, I was right, but I was wrong about the score, as it was 3-2. But anyway, circling back to the whole Edmonton talking point, the Oilers have had some notable things happen this season where you could say, wow, we've been really thrilled as a fan base and an organization. Connor McDavid, 1,000 career points, something that is worth celebrating, absolutely, especially considering the speed that he was able to do it in. And you just know more is to come. And then on top of that too, they have at points been one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in the league for a prolonged period, which is a fantastic thing. It looked like they might be going out there and winning their first division title in like 40 years. Life was good until it wasn't, till about February 7th. Things have not gone well since then, as over their past 11 games, they are 3-0, and at the time of recording this, have the worst points percentage in that time. There have been some good things in the regard. There's been a lot of one-score games that they've lost, but in all of that, too, you can understand why fans would probably be a little bit frustrated saying, well, we didn't pick up the loser's point in a lot of those games. I think there's been 4 of those games over the past 11 where they were one-score losses, where they weren't able to push it to, extra hockey, and that is not a good thing when you consider that they aren't in a spot really to compete for the division title at the moment, unless they get hot and Vegas cools down a little bit. The Golden Knights have like a 7-point cushion over them, I believe, at the moment. And again, just seem like a team that's in a better spot to go out there and claim yet another division title. They just know how to do it, I guess, whereas Edmonton, while winning the Western Conference last year, have a little bit of an issue when it comes to, again, I think being that 82-game season or 82-game team for this course. And I don't exactly know how things are going to go in that regard, but I think that their hold on second in the division does seem to be slipping a little bit. Why exactly does that seem to be a problem? It shouldn't be, right? Because if they fall to third, they play the Los Angeles Kings, a team that they beat 3 straight years in the playoffs. Surely they should be able to go out there and beat them for a 4th straight season and then focus on some other teams that are more important. But that may not be as easy as it seems, as the Los Angeles Kings, I believe, have the best home record in the league, best points percentage, all those things, and pose a serious threat to the Edmonton Oilers. And I do kind of wonder how things will play out here for Edmonton, because they don't seem as unbeatable, not necessarily unbeatable, I'm looking for the right term here. It just seems that they might not have that hot run in them when they get to the playoffs, and they just might kind of fizzle out a little bit earlier than expected. And I think for LA, great motivation. You don't want to get beat 4 years in a row, and also you want to be able to get a little bit of revenge. You know that if you were able to grab that 2-0 series stranglehold in the opening 2 games of the series, if you take Game 3, I mean, it's practically yours. And even if you lost in Game 3 and then you took Game 4, again, you're up 3-1. There's just so many things that seemingly could be going against Edmonton at the moment right now. And while it's still a good year, and again, they've had 2 trips to the Western Conference Final in recent years, you do feel like that their ability to go out there and win the West, especially this season, does feel like it's going to be a little bit dampened. They don't seem to be a great team in my eyes to go out there and repeat as Western Conference champions. And I think it's going to be hard because you know that they have the players are going to put up big numbers. But again, individual players don't always win series against really good teams. I think there are some very, very good teams that are not only in their division, but especially in the, I almost said Metro, the Central, that are going to pose a massive threat to them trying to go out there and win. Team like Dallas especially, more so about the revenge factor as well too. Edmonton has made enemies out west. The Stars are a great example of this, as they want to go back to the Stanley Cup Final, and Edmonton kind of got in their way last season. So we'll see how things play out there for them, as they are not winning a lot of games as of late, and they're seeing a lot of other teams not only look better, but play better. And I think it would kind of be poetic in a way if the Kings were able to win their first postseason series since, gosh, I mean, when's the last time that they won a series? 2014 seems like it might have been too long ago. Did they win one a little bit later since then? I don't know. We'll go back and look at that. But anyway, what are your thoughts on some recent developments? Jack Eichel breaking the record. Do you think the Devils will actually make it? And if not, is it going to be something where you're too hard on them? And do you think the Oilers are set for a serious problem as they can't seem to find their winning ways at a point in the season where it really does matter? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Also, please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you're new. I know a lot of you probably didn't think I'd get a video out today. Much longer day at work than I expected, and I also slept through when I wanted to. I was still on time for work and all that, but it was more about I wanted to get up 2 hours early for work, before work, or when I needed to get up for work, and I was going to try to record a video, but I didn't do that because I kind of slipped through and had my other alarms where I was actually supposed to get up for work and I was still on time and all that, but it was more like, man, I didn't get to record. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling. Everybody, please make sure to stay safe. Have a great night, and you go the Falk, all right. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.